Welcome to Trojan Sports Now. I'm joined here with the coach of the women's golf team at Troy University, Coach Randy Keck. Coach, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Sam. Good to be here.
And season is getting on its way this upcoming week. Monday, we have a tournament down in Jacksonville, if I'm not wrong. Can you tell me a little bit about this season? Tell me about what to expect from the season, some of the players we can look forward to seeing this year?
Yeah, sure. We had a great fall season. We had 2 first-place victories during the fall. Had some young players really step up and play well. Our roster's very young, but Nicole Lorup, young lady that came back, she was a freshman player of the year in the conference last year, came back firing on all cylinders right out of the gate this year, and added a bunch of new young talent with her, and we really had a good fall, and we're expecting just to pick up where we left off and hit the ground running this spring.
And you're coming into your 3rd season as the coach here at Troy, moving from the Midwest out in Tulsa. What are some of the differences that you've seen moving from the Midwest down to South Alabama region and the Sun Belt Conference?
Sunshine, sunshine, lots of sunshine. No, we're very blessed with weather here. Tulsa's a great place. The Midwest is a great place in the fall. Springtime's a little turbulent, and wintertime is pretty rough. The nice thing about being at Troy is we get to play golf year-round and have good weather through the wintertime, and we get to get a lot of work done when, basically a lot of other schools are stuck indoors. So the sunshine's a blessing for sure.
And talking about, just bouncing off of that, the practice facilities, the facilities that we have here at the school, what are those like, and do those prepare the girls well for the tournaments that they travel to?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite topics when we talk about Troy women's golf. Our facility originally was an 18-hole golf course here on campus, years ago. They cut it down to a 6-hole practice facility strictly for the men's and women's golf programs. We've built a big, nice building. We got wedge range, putting greens, chipping greens. And the beautiful thing about it is a lot of universities have that, but not very many have it on campus, where our student athletes can walk from their dorms down to the facility, get their clubs out of their locker, and get started. It's quite the odd entity, and it's great to have.
Yes, sir. And golf. In the South, college golf, you think college football, maybe college basketball, but what is the identity of college golf? What is the identity that you have with it, and is that like an accepted identity, or is it something that you want to promote more and see more in college sports?
Well, I think we are really blessed in the South that golf is a big deal. Troy's a great golf city. A lot of people don't realize that for such a small city, there are so many good players in the city of Troy, so they identify with our program. They know the hours we put in, they know the work that we put in, and they understand that's what it takes to be a great team. But being in the South in general, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, those are really good golf states because of the weather. You see so many golfers migrate south to play college golf or just stay and live because they love the winter weather and being able to play. And so, I think the identity's already there. The stage has been set prior to me being here. Coach Barnes did a great job with the women's program. Before Coach Barnes, Matt Terry did a great job with the women's program, kind of building the foundation. I think we're right on the cusp of moving kind of to that next level. We're kind of separating ourselves at times from some of the mid-major schools, and we're moving into major college golf, getting some invites into events that otherwise mid-majors usually don't get, and we're going to get to play some really big events the next 2 or 3 years because of how good this team is.
Young roster. Looking over the roster, if I'm not wrong, 1 upperclassman, a redshirt sophomore, if that counts as a junior, but just 1 junior on your roster. Can you tell me about the youth of this roster and if that means anything or if that's just an extra bonus to this team?
Yeah, I think all of the above. I think, we had 2 players that would have been juniors. Jordan Susie, a young lady from Birmingham that had transferred over from Louisville, had to have some knee surgeries, actually 3, and has just not been able to get healthy. And unfortunately, it looks like her college career probably is over, and we're saddened by that. But she's going to help us do some other things on our team. Almost from a coach perspective, we're going to put her into a different role. But Judith Castro is our only junior. She's a good leader, does everything right, works her tail off, does everything we ask her to do. But yeah, then we've got the youth of sophomores and freshmen that are very, very talented. And, you know, the beautiful thing about this game, the golf ball doesn't know how old you are. And a freshman can shoot 66, and it's just like a senior shooting 66. Now, you hope your upperclassmen, you know, do it more often, but, you know, I love this team and I love our youth. And, you know, sometimes inexperience in golf is better because you don't even know to be afraid. So it's awesome.
And like you said, those younger players, those freshmen and sophomore, they can achieve just as much as those juniors and seniors. And clearly that was evident when Anna Claire Little, Ansley Cowart, Shaylee Searsbury, all their prospective amateur player of the years in their own states, Alabama, Georgia, and Oklahoma. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, they just, you know, all three of those young ladies have had amazing amateur careers, especially in their state, but not just in their state. You know, Shaylee Scarberry last summer qualified for the U.S. Amateur, which was a huge deal. You know, Anna Claire Little, I can't say enough about that young lady. You know, a lot has been documented about her progress. She's the young lady that was in the car accident that everybody knows about. And you know, Golf Week magazine wrote an article about her. And just her progress and the success she's had over the last 2 or 3 years from an amateur perspective and from a college perspective has been off the charts. Ansley Cowart is a name that college golf hasn't heard that much about yet. She was the player of the year in the state of Georgia, and she's going to be a phenomenal college player. Unfortunately, she had a little bit of an injury this fall. She had a cyst on her wrist. We had to have surgery this offseason. She's going to miss this first event coming out of the fall. Hopefully, she's ready by the second event, but we're not going to rush her because she's you know, she's a top-level talent, and we want to make sure that she's healthy before we put her in the lineup. And then, you know, Shaylee Scarberry, everybody in the golf world knows her as Bug. Her dad calls her Bug. Her nickname is Shay Bug. Also, she wears the long socks. Everybody in the golf world knows her as the acid wash long socks, so it's kind of cool. She's got a little identity with that, and it's really fun, and we've kind of let her carry that over into our team. But yeah, I mean, you can't say enough about those three kids. And, you know, putting those kids with, I mentioned Nicole Lorup earlier, you know, that's a pretty world-class roster as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, they're underclassmen, but they're really, really talented.
Yes, sir. And talking about that talent, young talent, that has to come from recruiting. And you have some girls from the Auburn, the Birmingham area, but some of these girls are from out of the country, Denmark and Spain. Can you tell me about your recruiting process and just how you're able to bring in such talented young women?
Yeah, a lot of that has to do with the connections in the business and being in the business so long. I have connections from when I played professionally and then when I, you know, moved into the coaching ranks. Just lots of international connections. Lots of friends that have been instructors in other countries or former players. I get a lot of former players that call me that are from other countries. Say, hey, Coach, I have a kid over here. You need to look at this kid. This kid can really play. Both of those young ladies actually were kind of those tie-ins. Now, Judith Castro, the young lady that was a junior, was at San Jose State as a freshman. The head coach out there is a really good friend of mine. He felt like, and she felt like it wasn't a really good fit, and she just wanted to be somewhere and kind of get a fresh start, and has come in and done an amazing job for us. And then Nicole Lorup, the young lady from Denmark, has just been, you know, one of the top freshman players. You know, last year she was a top freshman in the country, and has carried that into this year. And yeah, a lot of it's just connections and beating the bushes to find kids. I mean, you know, it's like everybody else. You're looking for the next big thing.
And like you said, Nicole, definitely someone that stands out on this roster, somebody that we can look forward to this season of just expecting those big numbers week in and tournament out. Can you tell me about maybe somebody that doesn't really have the spotlight on them this year that might just pop out and have a great season?
That's a perfect question. We have had somebody really step to the front of our roster. Elizabeth Pruce, freshman young lady from Auburn, Alabama. Elizabeth is, I call her the quiet assassin. She just goes about her business and does everything right. She actually won our qualifying this spring, shot 67 in the final round. In 6 rounds of qualifying this spring, like I said, she finished with 67, but her scoring average was 72.2 over the 6 rounds. I think this young lady has a chance to be an absolute superstar before she's done. And I love it because she lets her clubs do the talking. She just doesn't say much. She just goes about her business and just beats everybody to death, and that's just awesome. I mean, it is awesome. The competition on our team is great, and to see some young players really coming to the forefront is really exciting.
Yes, sir. And the season opening this Monday down in Jacksonville, Florida. What can we expect from this tournament and just the opener of the season? Does that set the tone for the season, or what can we really just expect this
Well,
Monday?
you know, Sam, the beautiful thing about college golf is it's a marathon, not a sprint. We're coming out of some pretty tough weather for us, a little unusual, you know, with all the rain and a little bit of cold weather. We're probably not as sharp as I would like to be going to the first event. But the beautiful thing is we have all spring to get really sharp for, you know, the conference, regional, national tournaments. So I'll say it like this. We're a little rusty, but my expectations are always one-dimensional. They're always to win. And when we go, the young ladies know we roll that bus out of the when we roll out of the facility down there, we expect to win every time out. And that's what we're going to Jacksonville to do.
And like you said, coming off of the offseason, a little bit of rust in there. Last competitive tournament was in November, if I'm not mistaken. All of that time off, have these girls just been working really hard over the offseason in preparation for this?
Yeah, that's a great question. The main thing we really emphasized this off season was fitness. We've gotten stronger. We've gotten more fit. We've worked a lot on nutrition. We've worked a lot on club head speed, not only in the weight room, but in our facility. You know, Shannon Lemons does an amazing job with our fitness program with our girls. You know, and it's just awesome to see, you know, you mentioned the Oklahoma connection. Brooklyn Bostick is a perfect example. A young lady that came from Duncan, Oklahoma. She's a freshman. Good player, but had never just killed it in the weight room and been a fitness junkie. And to watch a young lady like that go from hitting the golf ball 225, 230 off the tee to almost 250 off the tee in one school year is just amazing gains. And her progress has just gotten better and better, and I see that throughout our team, and that's the one reason we emphasize fitness so much in the off season is just to increase club head speed, increase distance, and stamina walking the golf course.
Yes, sir. Well, very excited about this upcoming season. Looking forward to some Troy golf here this season. And just wrapping up this interview, I just want to thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming in, and just really looking forward to this season.
Thanks,
Stay
Sam.
tuned as we'll get another look at more sports after this.